If keto flu hits you on day 2, 3, or 4, it's usually not mysterious, and it's rarely just willpower. It's often a fast shift in water and electrolytes that your body has to rebalance. When carbs drop, insulin drops too, and your kidneys start letting go of sodium and water. That can leave you feeling flat, foggy, and oddly weak even if you're eating enough calories. The timing makes sense because the first day is often powered by stored glycogen. Then the drain starts, and symptoms show up right when your fluid and minerals are changing fastest. The good news is that this is a predictable pattern you can understand, and once you understand it, you can plan for it. In the next few minutes, you'll learn what's happening inside your body, why day 2 to 4 is the hot zone, and which signals point to electrolytes versus something else. Let's make the process feel less random and a lot more manageable. Moving to slide 2, start with the simplest driver, insulin. Insulin isn't only about blood sugar, it also tells your kidneys how much sodium to hold on to. When you cut carbs, insulin tends to fall, and the kidneys respond by releasing more sodium into urine. Water follows sodium, so you also lose more fluid. That's why many people see an early drop on the scale that isn't fat loss. It's mostly water. The catch is that sodium is not just salt. Sodium helps maintain blood volume, blood pressure, and nerve signaling. When sodium drops too quickly, you can feel lightheaded when standing up, get headaches, and feel like your energy got unplugged. This is also why day 1 can feel fine. You still have glycogen and a bit of buffer. By day 2 or 3, the sodium and water effect becomes harder to ignore. The body can adapt, but the transition can be bumpy. Moving to slide 3. Now add glycogen to the story. Glycogen is stored carbohydrate in your muscles and liver, and it's stored with water, roughly a few grams of water per gram of glycogen. When you reduce carbs, glycogen gets used, and that attached water is released and excreted. This is another reason the first few days can feel like you're drying out. Less glycogen also means less quick-access fuel for high-intensity efforts, so workouts can suddenly feel harder. But the key point for keto flu is the water movement. When water shifts out, electrolytes shift too. Think of electrolytes as the minerals that help water stay in the right compartments. If you lose water fast, you can temporarily concentrate or dilute different minerals in different places. Your body will correct it, but it takes time. That timing often lines up with day 2 to 4, when glycogen has dropped a lot and the water loss is still ongoing. Moving to slide 4. So why do symptoms cluster on day 2 to 4 instead of day 1? Because your body is moving through stages. Day 1 is often using what's already there. You're burning through circulating glucose and tapping glycogen. You may even feel a burst of motivation because you're doing something new. By day 2, glycogen is lower, insulin is lower, and the kidneys are actively shedding sodium and water. That's when blood volume can dip enough to notice. By day 3 or 4, you're also ramping up ketone production, but your muscles and brain may not be fully efficient at using ketones yet. That temporary gap, less glucose available, ketone use not fully optimized, can make you feel sluggish. Layer electrolyte loss on top, and you get the classic combo: headache, fatigue, brain fog, cramps, and a heavy feeling in your limbs. The pattern is not identical for everyone, but the timeline is common because the physiology is common. Moving to slide 5. Let's break down the main electrolytes, starting with sodium. Sodium is the big one for keto flu because it's the main mineral outside your cells. It helps hold on to water in the bloodstream and supports nerve impulses. When sodium drops, you can get headaches, low energy, and that spaced-out feeling. You may also notice your heart rate feels higher during simple activities because your body is compensating for lower blood volume. Another clue is cravings for salty foods or broth. Some people interpret that as "I'm failing," but it can simply be your body asking for sodium. The tricky part is that drinking more plain water without replacing sodium can sometimes make you feel worse because you dilute what's left. That doesn't mean water is bad. It means hydration is a mix of water plus minerals. If keto flu is mainly sodium-related, symptoms often improve relatively quickly when sodium intake and fluid balance are corrected. Moving to slide 6. Next is potassium. Potassium is the main mineral inside your cells, and it's tightly regulated because it affects muscle contraction and heart rhythm. On keto, potassium can shift for a few reasons. First, when insulin drops, potassium handling changes, because insulin normally helps move potassium into cells. Second, when you lose water and sodium, you can also lose some potassium in urine. Low potassium can feel like muscle weakness, cramps, or a dead leg sensation when walking upstairs. It can also show up as constipation, because smooth muscle needs potassium too. The important nuance is that potassium isn't something to megadose casually. Food sources are usually the safer baseline. Think leafy greens, avocado, and other potassium-containing whole foods that fit your carb target. If your symptoms are mostly cramps and weakness, rather than headache and dizziness, potassium may be part of your personal keto flu picture. Often, it's not sodium versus potassium. It's the ratio and the timing of both. Moving to slide 7. The third big player is magnesium. Magnesium is involved in hundreds of reactions, including energy production and muscle relaxation. If you're low on magnesium going into keto, the early fluid shifts can make symptoms more noticeable. Low magnesium often feels like twitchy muscles, tight calves at night, restless sleep, or headaches that don't match your usual pattern. Magnesium is also interesting because it can affect how you tolerate stress and exercise during the transition. Many keto foods contain magnesium, like nuts, seeds, and leafy greens, but intake varies a lot person to person. Another nuance is that magnesium doesn't usually create a sudden crash the way sodium can. It's more like it lowers your resilience, so the day 2 to 4 shift hits harder. If sodium is the volume knob, magnesium is the noise control. When it's low, everything feels louder: cramps, tension, irritability, and fatigue. Getting enough magnesium is less about quick fixes and more about consistent baseline support. Moving to slide 8. Here's a practical way to interpret symptoms. Separate low volume from low fuel. Low volume is mostly sodium and water. It feels like dizziness when standing, headaches that improve with salty fluids, and a higher heart rate during easy movement. Low fuel is more about the transition away from carbs. It feels like reduced workout capacity, heavy legs, and slower mental speed, especially during tasks that used to feel effortless. Keto flu is often both at once, but one tends to dominate. Another clue is timing. If you feel worse after drinking lots of plain water, that points toward electrolytes. If you feel worse after intense exercise, that might be the fuel shift plus electrolyte loss through sweat. Also pay attention to sleep. Poor sleep can amplify everything, and the early keto phase can change sleep patterns for some people. The goal isn't to diagnose yourself. It's to recognize patterns so you can respond with the right lever: electrolytes, rest, or a gentler transition. Moving to slide 9. Let's talk about the electrolyte shift itself. What's moving where? When sodium drops outside the cell, water distribution changes. Your body tries to keep blood pressure stable by adjusting hormones like aldosterone, which helps retain sodium over time. But hormones don't update instantly. That delay is part of the day 2 to 4 problem. Meanwhile, potassium is mostly inside cells, and the body guards it carefully. Small changes can still feel big in muscles and nerves. Magnesium sits in the background, supporting enzyme function and muscle tone. Add sweat, caffeine, or a big jump in exercise, and the system gets pushed harder. This is why 2 people can eat the same keto foods and have totally different experiences. One person starts already low on sodium, another starts low on magnesium. Someone else is sweating a lot. The electrolyte shift isn't one single number. It's a moving balance between minerals, water, and your personal baseline. The goal is to smooth the curve so your body can adapt without the crash landing. Moving to slide 10. A common mistake is to treat keto flu like dehydration and just chug water. Hydration is not only water. It's water plus electrolytes in the right proportions. If you drink a lot of plain water while your kidneys are dumping sodium, you can dilute sodium further, and symptoms can intensify. Another mistake is going from high carb to very low carb overnight, while also starting intense workouts. That stacks the fuel transition on top of electrolyte loss. A third mistake is undereating without realizing it. Appetite often drops on keto, and if calories and protein fall too low, fatigue feels worse and recovery slows. And finally, some people go extremely low salt, because they've heard salt is bad, then wonder why they feel terrible. The practical takeaway is simple. The first week is a transition phase. You want to reduce avoidable stressors and support the basics: enough fluid, enough sodium, and steady meals, so your metabolism can adapt with fewer surprises. Moving to slide 11. So what does a sensible electrolyte strategy look like? Think in food-first habits and simple routines. Many people feel better adding salty fluids, like broth or salted water, especially in the first week. Salting meals more intentionally can also help, because it spreads sodium across the day instead of one big hit. For potassium and magnesium, build a consistent base with keto-friendly whole foods, leafy greens, avocado, nuts, seeds. If you use electrolyte mixes, check what they actually contain. Some are mostly flavor with tiny mineral amounts. Others are heavy on one mineral and light on the rest. You're aiming for balance, not a megadose. Also, match electrolytes to your losses. If you sweat a lot, you likely need more sodium. If cramps show up at night, magnesium and potassium intake may need attention. And if you're unsure, go gradually and track how you feel, because your needs can change as adaptation improves. Moving to slide 12. There are also situations where day 2 to 4 feels worse because of lifestyle, not just diet. If you're sleeping less, your stress hormones rise, and that can change fluid balance and cravings. If you're drinking more coffee, caffeine can increase urination in some people, especially if you're not used to it. If you're doing long walks, hot yoga, or sauna sessions, you're losing sodium through sweat, and keto already increases early sodium loss. Even travel can matter, because you may eat differently and drink less. The fix is not to stop living your life, it's to anticipate the extra losses. On higher sweat days, salty fluids can matter more. On poor sleep nights, keep expectations realistic, and don't stack a brutal workout on top. Keto adaptation is a real metabolic shift, and your body is doing a lot behind the scenes. When you reduce extra stressors for a week, you often find keto flu becomes much smaller. Moving to slide 13. It's also smart to know when symptoms might not be keto flu. If you have severe or persistent dizziness, fainting, chest pain, confusion, or heart palpitations that feel unusual, that's not something to push through. Another sign is symptoms that keep worsening after the first week, instead of stabilizing. Keto flu tends to be transient, and it often responds to basic hydration and electrolyte support. If it doesn't, other factors may be involved, like illness, very low calorie intake, or underlying conditions that change fluid and mineral handling. People who use certain medications or have kidney, heart, or blood pressure issues need extra caution with electrolyte changes, especially sodium. The purpose of this section isn't to scare you, it's to keep the model honest. Most day 2 to 4 discomfort is explainable by the electrolyte shift, but not all discomfort is. When you respect that boundary, you can approach keto more safely and with better decision-making. Moving to slide 14. Bring it all together with a simple mental checklist for day 2 to 4. First, expect a water and sodium drop when carbs drop. That's normal physiology. Second, treat hydration as a combo of fluid plus electrolytes, not a water-only challenge. Third, watch your personal pattern. Headache and dizziness often point to sodium and volume. Cramps and weakness often point to potassium and magnesium, especially if you're sweating. Fourth, reduce extra stressors for a few days. Hard training, big caffeine spikes, late nights, so you're not stacking problems. And fifth, remember that adaptation improves. Many people find that once they're past the first week or two, they feel steadier, and electrolyte needs become easier to manage. If you want one action step, it's this. Plan your electrolytes before symptoms hit, because day 2 to 4 is predictable. If you found this helpful, tap subscribe for more clear, practical nutrition breakdowns. And comment with your experience. Did your keto flu feel more like A, headaches and dizziness, or B, cramps and weakness? Metabolism first. Everything else follows.